loves, this is Therese with Happy in Business. I'm wearing my Love Pup t-shirt. This is a local dog rescue that I got Finley from, and I just feel good wearing it. Anyway, so I'm teaching today my Women's Wealth Breakthrough Program, and I want to share kind of how I roll. But wait, there's an exercise I'm going to be teaching you, but I thought I would just give you a little smidge of a backstory, right? So the way I roll is I create the curricula, and then I tune in. And so today I taught them my muscle testing system, and I taught them how to work with the parts, and I taught them how to discover the blocks and clear them. We really went deep today. And in the curricula, what I was supposed to teach them was how to be seen. I was going to work on this being seen visibility piece. And for some reason, I picked up my pendulum and I was like, nope, that's not what I'm supposed to cover. And so what I really tapped into is part of why particularly women struggle is because they can't want what they want. There's something blocking them wanting what they want. That sounds so crazy, right? And maybe you don't even relate to that at all. And if you don't relate to it, God bless you. You're really freaking lucky. But for many people, we have either had trauma, we have had socialization, or we are generally this gender, or we are generally this age. There's so much in us that has not let us just go, I freaking want that. And hello, I can have it. It's like when I do my pendulum with people, it's like, yeah, I want to bring in $10,000 a month, and I'll say, is that safe? It's not safe for you, or you don't have permission, or somebody would be offended. And so there's so much overlaying. There's so much that prevents you from freaking wanting what you want. One of the things I talked with last week was when my dear friend Lindsay says, you just need to be greedy. I'm like, oh. So I was talking to my students and I said, I want you to be greedy for your good. Now think about what that says to a woman, right? Greedy, wait, what? Duh. That just makes our brains fry. Because we've been taught the opposite. We've been taught to be selfless. We've been taught that our value and our good comes from serving and helping and being not greedy, right? So to further that, so this week in the program, when I said, okay, what is in your way of wanting what you want? For some people, it just is nobody's giving you permission. For some, it's just, maybe it's an identity thing. Oh, I'm not that person. I'm this kind of a person. There's so many causes to it. But what I really want for you to do is this is my brilliance, right? I can figure out, I can discover it, I can uncover it, I can clear it for you. But then you got to know what it is that you want, right? So in the program today, I brought the point up, can you want what you want? What's your dance with desire? I remember years ago, people would say, what kind of a car would you like? And I was like, well, I have a minivan. Like I'm a mom. I have to have a minivan. And they said, well, what do you want? A nicer minivan? Because sometimes when we kind of have to keep our heads down in survival, or when we have never had the opportunity, when we've struggled, or when we've just gotten by, or when we've just never been given permission, we don't freaking know how to dream or what we even would desire, right? So I'm going to just take you through this exercise. Just be like a couple minutes. But this was the most powerful teaching, and I went on for 90 minutes. I was teaching my ass off. Gave them all my tools, my technologies, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's this cool exercise. Let me take you through. And they loved it. Because this will uncover, what do you freaking want? Now, so generally, underneath wanting is a fear that you either can't have it, shouldn't ask, don't know, don't deserve, boom, 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 right? So what we do is we start with fear. And I'm just going to take you through this exercise, and you if you're watching live, do it. And thanks for watching live. Hi guys, glad you're here. If you're watching later, write it down. So you can either speak it out to yourself, or you can just slowly write down. And so what happens is, let's just do it, okay? Let's just do it. So I'm going to say a statement, and then you're just going to answer in your head after me. You ready? Now, what I don't want you to do is this. I'm going to say, for example, if it wasn't for fear, and you're going to say, I'd go hike the Grand Canyon. And then the little gremlins in your head going, really? You're so out of shape, you'll never look. Shh, You don't get to censor. You don't get to analyze. You don't get to form. You got nothing. All you get to do is just get that first little thing. Okay? So first answer. If it wasn't for fear, I would. Okay? So that's how it's going to be. We're just going to like a call and response. So I'm just going to ask you some questions and you're going to note and or write down. Okay? So put yourself in a comfortable place and just trust what emerges from you. Don't censor. Just allow, just ask, just go, I'm opening to receive all that I desire. I'm opening to receive all the information that's here for me. I'm open to know what I know. Okay? So I'm just going to do this for a few minutes and then I'll come back, all right? So you answer. If it wasn't for fear, I would write down or speak it. If I weren't afraid, I would. If I didn't feel so much fear, what I would love is, if I didn't feel guilty, what I would do is, what I would love to have is, if I could have anything in the world I wanted, it would be, if I just had permission, what I would love is, if I weren't so afraid, what I would want to ask for is, if I really felt safe, what I would go for is, if it wouldn't upset anybody, what I would want is, if I really believed in myself, what I would do is, if I knew I could have what I want, what I'd go for is, what I would love more than anything is, if I knew that I could get it, what I would try to do is, if I didn't feel guilty, what I'd go for is, if I didn't have so much fear, what I would try is, one thing I desire so much is, and one more, if I could really listen to the song of my soul and what's in my heart, what it tells me is, nice. Alrighty, so if you've tuned in a little bit late, we're trying to figure out your desires. And then the next step would be, you might have a list of 10 or 20 or however many you went through. Pick 2 or 3. And then you want to go find the resistance. So let's say, I'll just say, if I could have everything I want, I would love to go hike the Grand Canyon. And then the resistance is, well, you're not in enough shape, or it's going to be too hard, or you can't take time off work, or right? So you want to just start to counter those. That's the magic. That's kind of where my brilliance comes in, and that's what I help people with. But this little exercise is just to show you to wake the hell up, right? The root word of desire is from the Father. So my belief is, if there's something living in you, if there is desire in you, it is of the divine. It's literally God expressing more of God through you. But what happens is we go, I shouldn't want that. Oh, that's selfish. Oh, who am I? Oh, I can't have anything other than a minivan because I'm a mom. Actually, related to that, I walked, not the best decision, but when I realized, crap, I don't even know what the hell kind of car I want, because I was so head down with little kids, I have to have a minivan, I wouldn't even allow myself to dream. So I walked into a car dealership just to test drive, and I ended up buying a sports car. Not the best choice. I didn't really need a sports car. It was beautiful though. Oh, it was my dream car. It was a little Nissan 240Z. Woohoo! That's how I did it. That was a very costly lesson. But what would it take for you just to start noticing your desires? Because most of us notice what we can't have or how hard things have been. And so literally there is this veil of suppression on you, this veil of doubt or cultural or trauma or programming. And so imagine if you let your desires lead. Now, you're obviously not going to get all 90 of them at once. Maybe you just pick one. My desire is not to have so much clutter in this damn office. Yeah, so I'd be like, what could I do about that, right? So pick one, go for it, start speaking it. And mostly, my hope is that this video has I know for the students I just taught, if you're coming late, I just taught this class, and this was the exercise, and they just were like, they were kind of blown away, actually. They're blown away that not only did they find all those desires, but then there was a bunch of shit on top of the desires. There was so much resistance to having these desires, right? That's why so many of my students were like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I didn't realize I was blocking myself so badly. So let's just get you tapped in. Remember, desire is from the Father. So if it is in you, it is yours to do. You don't have to feel guilty. I see my artist here. Glad you're an artist, right? And you went from like a business and a career to art. And you might have had a moment of like, just art, really? Like, why is this? I don't know if you did that. I'm making this up. But a lot of people have in them, like, God, let's say you have a desire to sing or to paint or to hike or to create or to add beauty. It's really easy to let the little voice inside you say, really? That's not that big of a deal. How's that going to help? Because it's yours to do. It's yours to do. That's your freaking desire that literally is from God. So you don't argue. You just go, okay, cool. It's mine. Like, strangely, I have no desire to do work with spreadsheets. Zero, none. Personal hell. Spreadsheets, my personal hell. But there are some people that love spreadsheets. So it's their desire to make order and organize. Okay, so somebody says, there's Daniel. How about to take naps and make money? Woohoo! Heck yeah. And make love. Why not? Let's desire good stuff, right? Yeah, whatever the desire is, you got to trust that it's coming from the right place. But I want you to really, really, really tap in and just go, what do I desire? And then the question is, have I given myself permission? Is this safe to do? I use a pendulum to get all these answers. But you just ask, does this feel easy? Could I say yes to this? Am I worried that something's going to happen? So the goal is, my goal for this one is just to get the desires up there for you. And it's up to you to make them happen, to commit, okay? If you need any help with this, reach out. I got lots of tools. I can help you. So I'll see you in a couple days. I got a fun Facebook Live on Wednesday. I'm going to bring one of my besties. Julie is going to join me, and we're going to talk about clearing and how sometimes the unconscious blocks just really just crash your world. She's actually letting me work with her. I'm just going to give her a live. I'm going to give you all a demonstration. So I'm going to actually do a session clearing with her, and we're going to share some stories of how I work, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff. In the meantime, put in the comments below, what do you desire? So remember, if it weren't for fear, what would you desire? I would love to hear that, my gloves. So peace and blessings. And if you have any topics you want me to teach on, I'm here. I finally got the lighting working. I figured it all out. So, all right. Much love. Bye now. Take care.